world of ENA is a peculiar one, comforting yet jarring, familiar but outlandish at the same time. The series at this point in time is only 2 years old, but it has blown up into something massive. We would like to take
this time
to immerse ourselves into the strange landscape of ENA and talk about its history, fan theories, and other bits of information revolving around the series that makes it such an attractive spectacle. Fall back into comfort, relax, and embrace ENA.
Embrace ENA.
History. Act 1.
ENA is an animated series conceived by the Peruvian animator Joel Guerra. The design of the character ENA was first shown off on Joel's Twitter account back on February 23, 2020. Joel explained that he wanted to create characters with strange shapes in a very colourful world where nothing makes sense.
Something we will refer back to often in this video will be the mention of the video game LSD Dream Emulator, which is something that closely resembles and inspires the statement that Joel made and had envisioned for the series, and ultimately succeeded in replicating that sort of bizarre dreamscape world that was present in the LSD universe. Shortly after revealing the design of ENA and receiving positive reception of the design, Joel later posted another image featuring ENA alongside her close companion, Mooney. On May 2nd, more concept art of the two was shown off, as well as an announcement of a short animation that would introduce them. On May 26, the debut of ENA would come to the world on Newgrounds, YouTube, and Twitter, as well as Instagram on the following day.
Auction Day. Act 2.
The debut of ENA, Auction Day, is a 2-minute and 42-second animation that would introduce protagonist ENA and deuteragonist Mooney. Right away, we are introduced to the peculiar world design consisting of both 2D and 3D art. Head tombs are scattered across a grey landscape, a UFO-type object is flailing its stubby arms in a dancing motion, and a 3D crescent moon with a face is rotating around off in the upper corner. The following scene shows Mooney and ENA moving along this landscape with haste, concerned with finding a spot within the event known as Auction Day. This event, according to the auctioneer, is a daily occurrence. ENA treats it as a special annual event for whatever reason.
Mooney, voiced by Lizzie Freeman, is a floating, waning crescent moon with an eye and hair present on one side, and a monolithic block protruding from the other side. ENA, the protagonist, appears up close and personal. We get a good look at her most common design, a dual-colored body with her right side being blue and geometric with a diamond-shaped eye, while her left side is yellow and smoothed out with a half-circle eye. In her yellow form, she comes off as rather neutral happy as far as emotion goes. A few seconds into this scene, we see her black and white face with a blue and black eye, which represents her sad and pessimistic state. With these different forms, different voices would also come along to further differentiate them.
Auction Day. These are the utmost grand of days. This is going to be so
awful. I think this is going to be the worst day of my life.
Sad ENA takes a moment to display her dread for the day and talks down about herself, before transforming back into her happy form. After this, the dancing UFO seen prior comes into view, where we see a cassette tape reveal itself and materializes as the auctioneer character, an ecstatic, hyper being that appears to be controlled by the cassette tape.
Alright, y'all! Welcome to the daily auction! Yeah! All your existential troubles will go away soon, okay? Today we have this dog inside an hourglass dog. Our starting price is 20 chocolates for one hourglass dog.
Brilliant, Mooney.
He puts on a display of an item being auctioned off, a dog within an hourglass, referred to as an hourglass dog. This would start at the price of 20 chocolate bars, but further goes up in price as one of the head tombs offers 50 chocolates. Another head tomb would offer 400 chocolates, while the last would offer a fatty caddy. Before the hourglass could be sold, various shapes known as rain rocks fall from the sky and crush various head tombs surrounding Mooney and ENA. Following this event, ENA vomits a pile of grainy television static onto the ground, which would transform into the very same dog present within the hourglass as the PlayStation 1 startup sound begins to play in the background.
My stupidness never ends.
This marks the end of Auction Day and would be a simple, brief glimpse at ENA. In this episode, various subtle things pop up in the details of the art, which would be a common theme in upcoming episodes. The entity dropping the rain rocks, for example, would have a face that is modelled after Jill Guerra's face.
And although the style of the episode would take inspiration from the 1992 video game, The Town with No Name, I could see some inspiration perhaps taken from the gray space world present within LSD Dream Emulator. The episode was ultimately well received, and the next in the series was but a small stone's throw away.
Extinction Party. Act 3.
On August the 8th, 2020, a short teaser for Extinction Party would be released on Joel G's channel. Here it shows Mooney and ENA in her drunk form in a hallway surrounded by a series of different paths in a maze-like room. Over a month later, on September 15th, Extinction Party was released on Newgrounds and Twitter, with a release on YouTube and Instagram the following day. At the start, we see ENA asking a character by the name of Keeper if she could enter the maze that we saw in the teaser in order to find Mooney and pass urgent information on to her. Keeper is portrayed as a broken Greek statue head with a multicolored body and is voiced by the Microsoft Sound text-to-speech software.
At first glance, I would assume that the head of this character may have been inspired by Vectroid's Floral Shop album cover, which would also display a Greek statue head and a dreamy pink and black checkerboard patterned floor, which would go on to inspire the vaporwave style for many years afterwards. Keeper informs that ENA's exterior isn't up to the community's typical standards and asks for a blood sample. After calculating ENA's threat level, he informs her there is no threat detected and tells her to go.
I have some urgent information to communicate to my pal Mooney.
Your exterior isn't up to our community's typical standards. Present a blood sample at once.
Oh, I felt woundness in that sentence, so... What now? under Soupy or something? Come on, do it!
Good sir, your safety concerns are valid. However, you must be able to see that this is very important. Very, very important. Very, very and much, much imperch.
Calculating threat level. Calculation terminated. Shut up and go in peace.
Thank you.
Here, we see the first true glance of the LSD Dream emulator inspiration in full motion. ENA is walking through the series of maze hallways in a first-person perspective, much like how the player character would move around in the game. After a moment, she comes across Merci, a mime character that would seem to resemble the mime character in RuneScape. ENA asks her to speak to her through the body language of the gods. Merci begins to speak Korean through her hands. Although the subtitles on screen translate to her giving specific directions to find Mooney, the actual translations would be aggressive and dismissive, saying things like, "You're not supposed to be here," "Get out of here before I kick your ass," or "You stuffy fuck."
Please speak to me through the body language of the gods.
잠깐! 됐나? 지금 어디 가는 거야? 너는 이법 사람이 아니잖아. 야, 네 엉덩이 잡으기 전에 여기서 전화.
Indeed. Could you direct me to the correct way to reach Mooney? There is something important I want to provide to her.
이 답답한 새끼야! 그냥 도망가. 그리고 여기 있는 모든 사람들한테 아무것도 받지 마.
Good.
ENA walks through Merci and down the hall past a portal. She is teleported to a room of strange entities, with one of them being a character named Rubik. Rubik insists he wants his privacy, and ENA continues onwards.
Well, this is quite puzzling.
Can't you simpletons lend me some privacy? Fly away!
She comes across a green UFO, and out emerges a Japanese man named Robert. Once again, the subtitles would inform ENA that she must take the path behind him, but warns her that it is dangerous and she could die.
Oh, お嬢さん、ここで何しとるんだ？お友達のことはお忘れなさい。この廊下で起こっていることはあまりにも恥ずかしいことだ。私たちの罪に汚されずにここから去ることを願うばかりですぞ。
Good.
The actual translation would be something more along the lines of,
Please, forget about your friends. Things are happening in these corridors that are too shameful for words. And my only hope is that you leave this place before being polluted by our sins.
ENA makes her way through a green warpy tunnel, climbs the staircase into the next area, and finally reaches Mooney in the moon-looking room. Mooney is missing her monolith cube from the previous episode. Here, we see the drunk version of ENA speaking, as well as brief glances at ENA's demon form.
It looks like the fisherman became the fish. Am I right?
What are you even saying? Can't you say anything that makes sense? Like, geez Louise, everything here is so weird.
Mooney accuses ENA of being drunk again, with ENA returning to her standard form and telling Mooney that she came here to bring her a gift. ENA holds her hands out. At first, there's nothing to see, but the camera zooms in and Mooney is present, where she then realizes that she is the gift. This marks the end of Extinction Party.
Whoa! Dude! I'm the gift!
Temptation Stairway. Act 4.
On October 23rd, 2020, Temptation Stairway was teased in a short video. On February 15th, 2021, the episode would finally release. This is the latest release in the series and the longest of the 3 episodes. The episode starts with a display of gray figures standing around the background with Mooney in the foreground holding a skateboard. Mooney decides to make a bet with ENA that whoever could reach the top of the Great Runus and make their wish first has to pay the debts of the loser.
I keep hearing voices inside my head. They tell me to eat my veggies.
I just had the bestest idea. We'll make a bet. Whoever reaches the top of the Great Runas and makes their wish first has to pay the debts of the loser.
Pay your debts? That sounds awful.
Yeah, but it's a proper punishment. You hear that?
The Great Runus is a godlike figure that we never see the true appearance of. Although this entity can grant wishes, the results of this are usually negative. Moments later, the residence of the Great Runus appears, which is a large gray structure with legs walking across the landscape. After a moment, a timer appears, and a first-person perspective similar to that seen in Extinction Day is taken on, where ENA moves through a large crowd of gray figures.
After some time, Brick Frog appears in an explosive entrance. This character may have been inspired by Vibri, a character from the 1999 PlayStation rhythm game Vib Ribbon that has her own frog form. After exchanging a few words with ENA, Brick Frog sends her off and the journey continues.
After more movement through the crowd, ENA crosses paths with a humanoid figure on a unicycle juggling masks. This would morph into a Spanish merchant character, who would offer a turrón to her. The two of them begin to move in a similar fashion as seen with David Byrne in the Talking Heads music video, Once in a Lifetime. The timer runs out, and the structure glitches into a blue-dressed mannequin. The structure, along with ENA, are both sucked into the mannequin. In this new realm, we see a pile of gray bodies and the mannequin standing in a black space. ENA scales a nearby set of stairs and enters a strange room with a character by the name of Ulysses. The man speaks in many different voices, and through the use of binary, informs ENA that the next celebration would take place in 10,000 years, when the door of the Great Runus would open.
Hark! I believe I'm in dire need of your services to learn my current whereabouts.
The celebration is over.
But it seems your greedy soul
Brought you here.
You are bearing
Witness to the incredulous residents of our Great Runus.
Runus. Unfortunate for you,
The divine door
Is fully closed now.
No! Must I assume there is no escape from these lands until that door opens? Well, how much longer until the next celebration?
years.
That's a lot! Nevertheless, I will find a way to reach the Great Runas and make my wish.
I have a bet to win.
In that case,
Your way to our great Runus
Runus is through the holy code behind you.
The only other way to proceed is to take the pool of coding behind her, but he guarantees her failure. ENA jumps in, falls through the sky, and ends up in a colourful land of rolling hills and geometric shapes.
ENA makes her way towards a large glass human-shaped structure in the distance. Inside, a field of yellow flowers with faces and floating dogs roam about, as well as a tank. The tank shoots the next character from its turret, a feline humanoid called the Shepherd that speaks Russian, with hints of Belarusian and Ukrainian. This time, the words match the on-screen subtitles.
Никто не пройдет. Великий Рунас был бы очень злой, если бы какой-то простак, как ты, появился в его любимом месте. А? Это Турон?
Турон! 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 Турон!
Турон!
ENA offers her the Turan from earlier. The two go into a brief David Byrne dance once again, and the shepherd gives ENA a blood ID. She informs her where to go next and disappears. ENA jumps into the body of Code, makes her way through another realm, and comes across a floating banana. From the side, characters Maria and Gabo appear. Maria is a Japanese-speaking clump of blue geometric shapes held by the green afroed humanoid, Gabo, who speaks English with a Japanese accent.
Yes, that's right. Yes. Surprise ready. Yes.
なんてこと？それはあんたと違う味だけど。
You're all living a lie!
あ、まあ、あんたは合格できるでしょうね。私はあんたのこと好きじゃないけど。まっすぐ進んで次は右、3番目の穴を選びなさい。
ドリンクザブラッド and スモークザバナナ。Yes.
何よそれ!
The background music notes would match with the dialogue spoken by Gabo. ENA gives them the blood ID and passes through into the next area in one of the cat structure's mouths. She moves through a desert landscape with a dense sandstorm occurring before approaching a pink dolphin by the name of Findal. He tells ENA to stain the water red and the pyramid door will open. ENA goes a bit further, finds a small structure of water with a colorful character standing nearby. The water turns red and the sandstorm subsides. Now with the pyramid door open, she enters to go through and into a strange underground area. A door opens to a neon pink bridge with nightmarish structures jutting out in the background.
Mooney appears, and ENA questions how she managed to get here so quickly, along with what she had wished for. Mooney turns into a grey and white humanoid character and reveals that her wish was to be thinner. This marks the end of Temptation's Stairway.
Cheese and rice, Mooney!
All right! I wish to be thinner! So what?
Dream Barbecue. Act 5.
Arriving on September 22nd, 2021, was a trailer showcasing a variety of new characters and a new version of ENA in the next installment, Dream Barbecue, which would be a free interactive adventure serving as the 4th episode of the series. It's considered a new season of ENA, where the episode is based heavily off of nightmarish themes. As of now, not much is known about Dream Barbecue, apart from a few mentions that it will have horror elements in terms of the atmosphere of the game, as well as some of the unsettling designs of the characters or environment. The game will run on the Unity engine, which was used to create the first-person perspective moments in the prior ENA episodes. It's likely that the game will have an LSD Dream Emulator-inspired style of gameplay as seen in the point of view present within Extinction Day and Temptation Stairway. Dream Barbecue is currently in development and has no set release date.
Series ended. Act 6.
An abundance of fan theories have come about with each release of an episode. The ENA universe is confusing and somewhat vague in how it interprets things. One of the commonly brought up topics is the discussion regarding ENA's different forms and how it hints that she may have dissociative identity disorder. This is obviously present in the vastly different forms she takes on, but also in some of the Mooney dialogue, where she often pronounces ENA's name in different ways. This could also just be a joke regarding how viewers of the series would pronounce her name in different ways since its creation. It could also be assumed that more than one ENA exists, and that she possesses the gray mannequins present in Temptation Stairway at any given time when she is in need of a new body.
Some other theories regarding the world in ENA itself would have different perspectives. Some argue that the world is in a post-apocalyptic state, and everything presented to us is after the result of some nightmarish disaster that ravaged the world.
This may be assumed due to the indifference that characters would have for other characters' deaths, such as the rain rocks killing the Head Tomb characters in Auction Day. ENA is also warned several times of impeding danger by characters in Extinction Party. The world may be dangerous to traverse after some past event that changed it into what it is in the series today. And of course, this world could be heavily inspired by dreams and how they progress in their odd nature. The series gets more and more odd with each release, and everything starts to feel more surreal and outlandish as the series progresses towards Dream Barbecue, which is said to be a full-on nightmare in terms of its inspiration and design. The world could simply be represented as the progression of a fever dream gone bad, and ultimately becoming a full-blown nightmare as ENA progresses through it.
This is something that was rather prevalent in the LSD Dream Emulator video game, where the world around you starts off as somewhat normal with a few oddities thrown in here and there, with the game world becoming increasingly stranger and unsettling as the days of the character's dream goes on.
So as of now, that's about it for ENA. The series is relatively new, and at first glance upon the ENA character, I was charmed by the design and the universe of the series as a whole. Its strange designs, strong atmosphere, and overall unique presentation has pulled in many people's interest, and serves as a weird, yet comforting creation to dive into and ponder. It feels much like the internet of the past, like an old animation one would see on Newgrounds in the early 2000s. The nostalgic characteristics, along with the inspiration borrowed from many bizarre creations both older and newer, has given ENA an attractive presence on the internet for all to witness.
It's a series worth taking the time to settle into and offers plenty of eye candy and interesting bits to glance upon in terms of art and lore. This is the world of ENA. Take care and have an excellent night.
Have an excellent night.